Yes, sister. How are you?
I'm
You
good.
okay?
How you doing?
Yeah, good, man. Long time, right?
Well, we've been through quite a lot of things, haven't we?
We have indeed. We have indeed. It's been challenging to get these talks of ours together. What with you being busy, and then I had my back or endometriosis. I'm still trying to find out. I think there's a connection between the two. So I was in excruciating pain, so we couldn't speak. Well, that was last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was last week. The week before that was Valentine's, and I had a party here as well
Yeah,
in
that's
Sydney.
right. You was busy.
But we wanted to speak about love initially, didn't we? I was like, oh, we're going to
Yeah.
speak about love. It's like, oh no, we don't have
Well,
time.
actually,
And then you
prior
had your thing.
prior to that, it was actually pain.
Oh yeah, no. Prior to that, we were going to speak about anxiety and depression, which are
Oh,
the
or
two.
pain. Well, I think we
Yeah,
mentioned all three of
pain.
them.
We were
And
talking about pain. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So let's do that today
So
then.
we're going to speak about pain today because you was kind of feeling the fact that I was in pain because you've actually been in that situation yourself,
Yeah.
and I was in it. So that was the spur of my liver cleanse. If you remember, I was telling you that I am starting to do a cleanse of every organ in my body. And I started with gut, and then I went on to doing a liver cleanse. And just as I was doing a liver cleanse, I've actually done a video about this. So I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just as I was doing my liver cleanse, my shadow presented itself in the form of an ailment, which has been endometriosis. And I've recently made a link to my back pain and endometriosis being one of the same thing, actually, because every time my back goes, I come on my period. Yeah, that's kind of been irregular. If I think back, I've never made the connection, but if I think back, that's been quite a regular occurrence. So it was very interesting to see where my mind went in that space. You know, very, very interesting, because the mind chatter was very much in the shadows to start with. And once I changed my shadow and put light there, which was in the form of me doing my quantum touch my practice, right? It then shifted completely. Once I'd kind of like, right, I've got this. Yeah, this isn't going to be with me forever. This is just teaching me something that I need to learn. And it's also testing my ability to heal myself. Very powerful, very powerful. Whereby before when my back used to go, I used to be out for like 2-3 weeks. Yeah. I kind of had it done in 2 days. Boom. I got it shifted, which is the main thing. So people think, because I'm a healing practitioner, people think, well, why are you, it's obviously not working, then why are you in pain? Why, I've had to have a word with myself about that, my own inner dialogue. If you've got these tools, why is it you keep going to these spaces? But we're in a period right about now where our shadow is coming up in all shapes and forms, and you better have the tools to deal with it. Otherwise, it's just going to be prolonged agony, because it was agonizing. I was in a lot of pain. It was a struggle to get out of bed. It was a struggle to use the loo. It was a struggle to, get a drink and walk around. It was a real struggle. It was very, very painful. And of course, running energy in that space and having to focus on positive intentions in a space of pain is really quite a test. Your faith is really tested in that space. I'm sure you would agree, because you had, I think it was back pain that you went through as well, wasn't it? When
I had 10 years of chronic back pain.
Yeah.
From like
Debilitating, isn't it?
From 30 to 40 years old. Yeah. It was constant. I didn't go away. Yeah. And you learn so much. But until I didn't actually go in and understand that it was happening for me, not to me.
Yes.
That's the magic about understanding pain. It's quite a big it's something quite you have to feel it to be able to understand, and how to cope through that pain as well. How do you cope through that pain? Have you had pain before, like that before in your life?
Not for years, to be fair, and that's why I kind of knew it was an experience for me to feel and learn from it. And it's, with regards to quantum touch and that modality, what they teach us is that the emotional connection to your pain is your body's way of expressing something that you're finding difficult to express, or that you've forgotten, or that you feel you don't have the right to express.
Yeah.
So your body, this incredibly unique, state-of-the-art computer that carries your soul in this realm, is going to innately share your emotions if you're unable to do it mindfully, like consciously yourself. It's going to do it for you. And I truly believe that's what pain is.
Yeah, that I truly believe that as well. Not, also because I suffered pain, but I did a lot of energy work as well through the years. So I tried all sorts of different massages and acupuncture and Thai massage. And Thai massage is very good because it allowed the energy to flow. But I also had Reiki done on me, which is great. It moves the energy.
Mm-hmm.
But it moves the energy, but it's like any treatment that you may have. I had chiropractor. I tried a chiropractor, sorry, but they just kind of crack your bones.
Yeah.
And then again, it all happens again. You get triggered in the same way. In your everyday life, you still get triggered in the same way, because it all comes from like your core beliefs. Definitely. If your belief system is if you're carrying yourself at a very low frequency, then with very low negative emotions, then it's about self-esteem, really. It's about self-esteem. A lot of what happens to us in our body is related to low self-esteem within a certain area, depending on what it is what the physical pain actually is. But for me, it was all about understanding that I had to realign myself. I had to realign the way I believed, what I believed in. I thought I wasn't powerful enough. I thought there was so many things that were happening to my body through the years that, I had to understand what they were there for, what they meant. And then I transformed them basically through affirmations, through other energy work, being conscious. I had to kind of do affirmations are super powerful.
Totally.
Like I had back pain for 10 years, but then I also had signs of cervical cancer. So I had to have a couple of scoops as well. Like I had to take it out, whatever. It wasn't severe or serious or level 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was signs. And that represents also low self-esteem within the sexual area.
Yeah.
Okay. So for many years, I didn't believe that I was, I didn't know how to love myself. Yeah. And a lot of women go through this, we cover it all up.
Yeah.
A lot of women go through this, and a lot of people have cancer in those areas.
Yeah.
And it's just your body cells are sad, basically. Your body cells are not as they should be vibrating. They're not as they should be emanating that energy of love and joy.
Yeah, they're not expanded.
Exactly, because of the system we live
Strange.
in.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. When you've mentioned other, like quite a few women go through that. I think energetically on a humanity level, we've all been fed bullshit about ourselves, and we've not been allowed to be the sovereign beings that, people may even cringe at the fact that I am relating myself and my peers as sovereign beings, because that is exactly what we are. We've been lied to. We've been told that there's only one person that reigns sovereignty, and only one person gets to wear the crown and controls. No, we are all sovereign beings. We all reign here, and we all wear crowns. It's called your crown chakra. And all of this needs to be in alignment. And when it's in alignment,
this is the problem. We haven't been told about our chakras.
exactly.
We don't know what that is. So we just think we're flesh and bones, and we just think that the only way to cure a pain is to go to the doctor, when the doctor only will give you a pill to numb out the pain.
Sick
but it doesn't go to the core. It doesn't go to the core reason why you are unhealthy. Like in my example, with my experience with back pain, I had gone through, I was in London at the time, this was 2009, and I'd gone through various different abusive relationships, very small ones, but and I was also perceiving in a very low frequency anyway. Like I didn't think I was good enough, I didn't think I was worthy, and therefore I was just calling in exactly the same frequency.
Of course.
So until I didn't learn my lessons, life was just placing these people in front of me who basically sucked my light out. They were like energy suckers. And I allowed them to abuse of me because I had not been taught that I was a sovereign being, and that I was, a very powerful being.
Yeah.
Like my third eye was very kind of connected. Like I had loads of vision, as a visionary, I had loads of ideas, but my heart wasn't open. And also my power, my solar plexus, the feeling of being strong, I didn't have that enough hump to go, like push to say, yeah, I'm just going to do this. So that's why things didn't quite work out. But basically through these emotional abuse, psychological and physical abuse, I then afterwards thought, okay, I'm just going to forget this. I'm not going to go into detail with the story. It was a bit gory, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've all been through things like that, I'm sure. But yeah, I kind of came out of that. And then I got a job and everything was fine. And then one day I couldn't get out. I couldn't get out of the bed. I couldn't get up. I couldn't get up. And then from then on, I went to the doctor and he said, you've done your back and you're not going to be able to jog anymore. You're not going to be able to. And I was super physically fit. Like I was like, raving on the weekends, going to work during the week, going to the gym every day, cycling from Angel to Vauxhall every day, there and back. This is when I was living in London.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was super fit, right? And I couldn't believe it. So I listened to the doctor, because this is what we do. We believe. That belief was installed in my brain. And then I believed, oh, okay, I'm not going to be able to jog anymore.
Yeah.
So I became like a vegetable,
There's nothing like a doctor to disempower you, right?
I became like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. So then my whole body just changed.
Yeah.
My whole body became kind of more, I just felt like I wasn't able anymore. And that made it even worse. Okay.
Yeah.
And then
your belief system held on to what this person outside of yourself said. And we have to own that. We have to take responsibility. Once I go out of myself, that's my free will to choose to go outside of myself for something. It can be positive or negative. It can be growth or it can be shrinking. What's it going to be? But be mindful of what I've had to learn this myself. And the pain that I was in last week reminded me of these old stories popped up, right? Yeah. Like, God, if this continues, I'll have to call the doctor. I don't call the doctor for shit. I've never called the doctor. That's never been my time. Babe, I swear to God, right, when my endometriosis started, right, I was on the phone to the healers, tapping, going green while I was slowly being poisoned because one of the cysts actually burst. Yeah. And if I didn't have a young lady here with me to say, you know what, I'm calling the ambulance, I wouldn't have been in a space to be able to get to the phone to call an ambulance. So that's my level of, I'm not calling the doctor. However, I did find a new respect for Western medicine, because to be fair, in that space, if there wasn't Western medicine, I wouldn't be here. Because
the thing is, yeah, exactly. I mean, the thing is, after 10 years and after doing a lot of energy work, there was so once you've done a lot of energy work on body pain like that, a resolution comes. So a resolution is like you come to the end of it, but when you come to the end of it, it intensifies.
Definitely, yeah.
It gets even harder. So the last 6 months that I released that pain, I had been doing loads of energy work. I'd been aligning my higher self. So I was basically implementing new beliefs within my body, and replacing the negative ones for positive ones. So I was starting to see loads of shifts in my life as well. But at this point, I still wasn't able to move. Like the girl who was doing the work on me, she's written a book now called The Balance Method. It was really, really powerful. And it's actually a self healing book. She thought it was going to be something that people would actually teach, but it's actually a self-healing book. Okay. But yeah, so she was helping me out with that. And right at the end of it, it was like, it just got worse. What happened is that I went to London to a rave to my friend Fabian. You know my friend Fabian?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like one of the oldest ravers now.
I know, of course. Yeah.
My French friend Fabian.
Yes.
So anyway, it was his birthday party, and he was like, "Yeah, get on the mic," and I was like, "Okay, that's fine." And they had like a magic punch, God knows what it had in there, and we were all very happy. And and suddenly this Eastern European DJ came in, and he was like, he got on the decks and he pulled my cable out, he pulled my mic out. And it was like this, he pulled it out. And in that moment, I went to all of the dark. I went to all of the beliefs of I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy that I had before. Mm-hmm. I couldn't speak, like I didn't know how to speak. There was a lot of things that were happened to me that night. And there was a shift, something shifted, And then the next day when I went home, I woke up and I had this pain, this shooting pain down my leg. It was like, boom. And I was like, oh my God, something's happened. For me, it was positive because it was no longer in my hips and around the back of, it wasn't here. It was actually down my leg. Mm-hmm. And it was a shooting pain. It was like, it was ready to be released. So then I went to Spain to get an MRI scan because in England, it's terrible. They won't do it for you unless you're dying. And I was literally dying, but I thought, okay. And I just got a plane to Mallorca and I had an MRI scan and it was a desiccated disc, but it was ready to come out now. Yeah. It was actually ready to come out. Before, it was just, there was no water in my L4, L5. That was the injury I had. I had no water in my spine, basically, from when it happened in 2009 to 2019 when this happened. Mm-hmm. So when it was ready to come out, it was excruciating pain. For 6 months, I was taking 600 ibuprofen 3 times a day. And I was literally walking like this, taking my daughter to school. I was single, running a cleaning business with 85 clients, writing invoices from my bed, like kneeling down. Yeah. I had to buy an adjustable, one of those beds that go up and down, but I couldn't lie on it anyway. I had to lie on my side. And then I went to Munich to get a keyhole operation. So I had an operation that was a little bit expensive, but someone helped me out with that because I didn't want to go into the NHS and for them to go straight into my back because it was, very dangerous operation. Yeah. So it took me a year to heal from that. But what I was getting at is that, until I didn't actually work on the inner, work on what was happening and understand that it was just for me to love myself more. Because when you have a problem in your spine, especially the back back is like the pillar. It's your cathedral. It's the pillar. It's what's the
center. It runs all along your center.
Yeah. It's how you value yourself. It's who you are as a person, right? If you don't value yourself, then your back is gonna it breaks, you know. Like they say the lower part is more like emotional, financial support, not having that support, feeling alone. Yeah. The lack of water, I didn't have any water in my spine, and that represents I'm not being taken care of. That's the belief of I'm not being taken care of. So you know, I went through a lot of things in London, so that's probably why that happened. But I was literally cut by the base. Yeah. So if you're suddenly cut by the base and you literally cannot stand, you cannot stand up anymore. So there's a lot of, again, it's everything that happens to us physically is emotionally related.
Definitely.
For example, I had gum disease and I was like, oh my God. So basically my gums were kind of falling. They were kind of coming, they were not working properly. Basically, they were falling, you know? And I found out that gum disease, it has to do with not being decisive. So I started doing affirmations of I am a decisive person, I love myself, whatever. And every day I would do these affirmations and the gum disease dissolved. I have no problem with cervical cancer anymore either. Like I love myself totally. I feel powerful. I'm not the same person I used to be, but that's because I had to work on my shadows. Definitely. Because again, the reason why we are like this, and the reason why you believed in mainstream Western medicine, I also believed in Western medicine when they took out the hernia that I had in my spine. The guy actually wanted to do a talk with it because it was so big and long. And it was like, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna be famous with my thingy, but before my music. I'm like, yeah, come on, let me get a copyright. But you know, but the thing, it was rigid. It was like coral because of the reason that there was no water in it. That's why it was so painful, and it was leaning on my nerve, you know, so the whole sciatica nerve. Anyway, what I was going to say is that the way I see it is that Western medicine needs to be there because of the system we live in. We get to that state. It's only because we are implanted and we are programmed with all of these beliefs that we are not good enough, that we are not worthy. And therefore, this is why we get these diseases. This is why we get these pains. All these shadows come from these core beliefs of who we are as people, as, you know, human beings, right?
Definitely.
We came into this world and we were, you know, emanating our Merkabas, and you know, we were just basically believing that we were light from babies, and we were taught that we wouldn't need Western medicine. Do you know what I mean? You know what I'm getting to? It's just like we need the Western medicine because the world is fucked. So, you know, we have to be grateful for that.
There's yes to a degree, but you also have to realize that it is a minefield.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
You have to really be aware.
Only go for it when you really, really need it. It's like, you know, it's like with my cleaning company, the same thing is it's like my clients would say, oh, can you clean this bathroom with your eco products? And I was like, well, and it was like black. Awful, you know, like third degree cancer. Like we're talking, I was saying to them, you know, it's the same as a patient. If they are really, really bad and they're about to, you know, you can't just go in with meditations. And do you know what I mean? You actually need intervention with proper chemical at some point, because it's very difficult to, it depends, like it depends how powerful you are, but if you're really
the person needs to be on the ball. And you know, the thing is,
on the conscious path. I know what you mean.
Definitely. You like, okay, I accepted that my pain was teaching me something, right? And it was showing me something. It was say again, I missed that.
You're not normal. We're not normal.
Babe, I know this. I'll own that shit, right? My pain was teaching me something, and it was for me to make the emotional connection, which I think I did. I sat with it. But also it's about getting the insights. Being mindful, being able to sit in that pain and not be freaked out by it. Because at first I was like, shit, right? What am I going to do? Because it's like, I can't get out of bed without this excruciating pain, which was like a toothache going all around my midriff. And I think it was my endometriosis. But then prior to this connection with my backache to endometriosis, I would tell you that I haven't really had much pain from endometriosis since I started doing my quantum touch. because literally I couldn't sit in a chair properly in a seated position. I used to have to sort of almost lay with my legs straight, because there was a cyst there the size of a small orange. No, a big orange or a small grapefruit. So you can imagine that being there, full of old blood, how it was so excruciatingly painful, and it felt heavy. But since I've been doing quantum touch, I mean, I'm doing my qigong, I'm learning my 5 Tibetan rites and practicing these things that are, you know, I can get my hands underneath my feet. I'm very active, and I don't feel pain. Occasionally, my back will go and I'm completely debilitated. And I think since I've been practicing quantum touch for the last 6 years, it's probably happened 3 or 4 times. But it's been a very short spurt, not 2-3 weeks, like it used to be before I got into using other practices. I use Western medicine to get the diagnosis, to use their equipment to show me, where am I at now? Oh, it's shrinking. Cool. I'll continue doing what I'm doing. Thanks for your offer of a hysterectomy, but I'm going to try and keep my body, you know, as close to its divine state as it was born to be. Yeah. And yeah, I've made some really bad decisions, done way too much coke in my younger years, drunk way too much alcohol in my younger years, and done all sorts of other little naughty bits and pieces. But also having real crappy energy around me in the form of people or an environment hasn't been too clever either. You know, having people that will talk down to you and allowing that hasn't been too clever. So that's something I've needed to detoxify from. And it's really funny, right, Emma? When I started doing my liver cleanse, prior to doing my liver cleanse, I had a couple of people spit their venom at me, right? It was quite toxic. I think you remember me sharing this with you very briefly, right? It was quite toxic. So it's like, okay, so if you're attracting that, you must need to detoxify some of your own shadow here, because I'm mirroring what is inside of me. I'm being shown that there's still some more shadow to clear. There's still some more toxins to come out of you. And that's okay, as long as it's not coming in the form of running naked down the street with a machete, causing harm to everyone that I come across. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's about how we gain center, and it's okay that it's coming up. I want it to come up. I don't want any shadow, yeah, that's going to perhaps cause harm to me or to the people that surround me. I want as much light as I possibly can. Thank you very much. Do you know what I'm saying? So it's also about making those connections.
Yeah. I think it's also about how you perceive pain. How do you perceive pain? Because, you know, some people would perceive pain. You can perceive it as, oh my God, this has happened to me. You know, you can perceive it as something that's happening to you, and something bad, something that is in your way. You know, it's not allowing you to move forward.
Yeah, definitely. And something that's fear-based. It's not a love-based. It's not a love-based space. It's fear-based.
Yeah. But no, because people see pain as something bad. We've always seen it as something bad, and we need to cover it up. Like being angry, you know, when a kid is angry, or a boy crying, it's like, no, don't cry. Boys don't cry. Same thing, you know. It's like pain is good, as well as, you know, love and you know, being okay.
Yeah.
Pain is just telling you. But again, it's that perception of, you know, are you going to be a victim? Are you going to be, it's the whole victimization, you know. It's just like, oh, this happened to me, you know. And it's very easily done, especially when you have chronic pain, because I did that, you know. I lived that. There was a time when if I had a partner, I could cling on to him. You know, you don't realize you're doing it because you're in so much pain.
Yeah.
You're not managing yourself. You're not managing the pain. And therefore you're lashing out to everybody because you don't have any patience.
You're going outside of yourself.
You're not assessing the situation and accepting that you have this pain.
Yeah. And so going within.
To grab onto everybody else to help you. And oh my God, poor me, poor me. You need to really accept the pain, you know, look at the pain in front of you face to face and say, okay, you know what? I know you're here. I'm acknowledging you and I'm listening to you and I'm going to slow down now.
Yeah.
Because it's only doing it for you to slow down.
Yeah. You
know, because I had to slow down and I had to be more conscious of my movements. You know, I learned I learned Alexander technique that I then used in my life because I still have an injury. Yeah. I'm never going to I still have a lack of water in my spine and they removed a lot of the cushion anyway. So, you know, whenever I've implemented it into my life, it's accepting when you have an injury, you implement it into your life, you accept it and you love your pain and you give that place, you give that space, you give that area of your body more love. We tend to abandon the area. Oh, fucking foot, it's not working anymore.
Yeah, indeed. That inner talk, that's inner self-talk.
It's like, why aren't you working? Oh, my knees are really bad. Bloody knees. You know, my dad does that. Oh, bloody knees. But actually, this is the time where you need to be loving your knees more than ever. Give them ice, give them rest, give them sleep, give them massages.
Talk to your body.
Send them light within your meditation. Send them light. You know, send that area light and understand it because it's very, very simple. Whatever happens to you, whatever feeling or emotion it gives you, that pain, or if you can describe the pain, like it's a shooting pain. Okay, what emotion does the pain give you? Oh, it makes me feel angry. Okay, so, you know, how, you know, like, so it's like, and what color is it? Oh, I do that in EFT, emotion freedom technique. You kind of describe the pain and then you follow the energy.
We use that in self-created health. There's a module in Quantum Touch called self-created health. And there's like a series of 7 tasks. The first task is 9 questions, very powerful tool. And you ask the person who is in suffering of pain, what are they calling the pain? When did it start? That, you know, so that you get them to answer these questions and you're writing down their answers, and within those answers there's key words, and those key words will stand out as the listener. The key words will stand out, what's come from the person that is feeling whatever ailment.
Exactly. And then you peel the onion. So you know, it's anger first, but it always goes to sadness and the color will change to blue. You know, it's like peeling the onion and, you know, finding out where the core is coming from. Just follow the energy of that pain. And like, for example, knees is all about being flexible. You're not being flexible. You're not bending.
And also ego. Ego based thoughts make the knees go a little stiff. Because I was working on someone before that had real issues with their knees.
Yeah, well, ego, yeah. So ego is like not being flexible. You're not being flexible.
Exactly. They was in ego mind.
Yeah, it's like, no, it's got to be this way. It's got to be this way because, again, programming, because you've been told you're not good enough, and then you have to prove that you're good. And no matter what happens, you're going to prove that you're good, and therefore you're going forward, and no one's going to bend that. But the thing is, until you listen, they're going to keep on hurting. They will keep on hurting. You know,
you've got to get the insights. It's important to sit with yourself, not go outside of yourself, and get the insights. Realize what the emotional connection is, realize what your ownership of your part of your own ailment is, because people tend to go, oh, poor me, you know, my back, I couldn't get up out of bed, and blah, blah, blah. No, I mean, don't get me wrong, in that space I was quite scared because it's like, shit, what am I going to do? I need to try and get to my phone. Do you know what I mean? Like go outside of myself. And then it was like, right, okay, you've got your basics are here. You can get to the toilet. Yes, it's painful. You've got food in the fridge. You've got water, you're cool, you're okay. Yeah. Call my cutie sister from another mister, run some energy on my ass, please, sis, which she did, which kind of gave me a little lift to then start running it for myself, to then be able to be in not so much pain that I could bring a positive focus on what I was doing.
Exactly.
Do you understand what I mean? Bringing a positive focus and allowing the emotional connection to come through, allowing ownership of my own part of the pain. Yeah. And getting the insights. What is this related to? What am I doing or not doing that's not, like, something isn't serving me correctly here? So what do I need to, what is it that I need to change it? And start talking to my body. Sistering, are we all right? What do I need to do? What do you need? Do you know what I mean?
What is out of balance?
Yeah.
It's not the time to curse. It's not the time to curse. It's not the time, because words are very powerful as well. So it's not the time. It's not the time to get angry and to like, oh my God.
Totally.
No, it's okay. It's just another person. It's just another experience, another feeling.
Yeah.
It's another feeling. And it's as important as any other feeling that you may have, you know. I felt that, yeah, I just had to move much slower. And it's for you to move slower, like if you were a baby, be more conscious of your movements when you're in pain. Go soft, because it seems like when we have pain, it's the only time that we are actually soft. When we're in pain or something happens or a serious accident, that is when we come together. That is when we feel that humanity, you know. Yeah. When there's pain, you know, it's just like, that is when we stop and just look around and just be. And we're not constantly doing, you know, we're not constantly doing. And that is also very important, because for me, it's also very important to manage your time. You need to manage. How do you manage pain? Like if you've had a pain for a while, like I had to learn how to manage my pain. Mm-hmm. So I needed to integrate yoga or Pilates. So if I don't do yoga still today, if I don't stretch my body, I naturally do. I don't do a whole session if I don't want to. I just stretch my body where I feel it's needed and I'm done. Yeah. But if you don't stretch your body, if you don't maintain your abdominals strong so that it sustains the spine, especially back pain, all the body weight, the spine is carrying your body weight, you know? So those are very important things. So managing that, you know, making sure you exercise and you stretch your body, because your body is not solid. Your body moves. Your body is made of trillions of cells, of body cells, and they can move, you know. So if you allow space within that area, within the spine, if you allow that, if you hang yourself upside down, anything like that that's against gravity, that's going to open up the areas of wherever you're hurting, that's going to help. I integrated, I found this guy called Steve Hart. It's called SLM yoga. It's very, very slow yoga. So it's not like hanging up and down. It's not crazy yoga. It's very simple yoga, and it's very slow positioning. And it's basically just kind of balancing out the muscles. So you'd allow the muscles to come to have a cramp, and then you allow the cramp to pass by. So it's like you're literally just opening your legs, lying down on the floor like that, Debs. Yeah. Or like that, yeah, and you're pushing your knees down. So what you're doing is you're just balancing all the areas and allowing the cramps to come. So when I have sciatica, sometimes I still have sciatica, I do this SLM yoga, and the next day it's gone. I don't need to take a pill. I know exactly what I need to do. And what I need to do, I know that I've just been sitting down on my chair for too long, and that whole area is all compressed.
Yeah, your body talks to you. Your body will tell you what it needs. Yeah. It will.
Yeah, exactly.
And actually, prior to my back going, I'd actually, because I've got my instructors, my QT instructors that I'm doing, right? So I've got that. I've also got a couple of other projects that I've been putting together. So I've been taken away from my Qigong practice, right? Which is my meditative movement. Yeah, this is where I'm putting my hands underneath my feet, and I'm like hanging with my crown chakra to earth, and I'm in this space, this meditative space where I'm really connecting to my body. And in that space, I find out what she needs. So I hadn't been doing that. So of course, I hadn't been talking to my body, and I've been trying to do this liver cleanse for the last couple of years, right? Yeah. So when I started introducing foods that are beneficial to cleansing the liver, right? Obviously all these toxins, because liver is the organ that deals with toxins and, cleansing the blood and whatever. So I've got all these toxins coming up and out also, right? So what I was putting into my body, I had to be mindful of, which was very powerful, because I don't know why I'm still eating grains. I know better, and I'm still eating grains. They do me no favors. My joints don't like them. They dehydrate my body. Why am I eating them? So because I was doing this liver cleanse, I had to eat less grains. So that was an education. That was a space for me to be in, a cleansing space for me to have insights as to what serves my body truly. Yeah. And of course, people were coming up, toxic people. Are these people serving me? My mental well-being, my soul? No, they're not. So why were they in your space? Do you understand me? So having all these insights and these spaces to be able, like you was mentioning your yoga, that's a very, very powerful, energetic space for you to be in and connect with your body. And we all need to do more of this. We're all on this treadmill, go to work, got to do, got to pay the bills, got to pay all these taxes so the queen can be in a laden crown of jewels, all these priorities that have just been so like brainwashed, programmed into us, which don't serve us. They're not important.
It's that masculine energy again, isn't it?
Yeah.
Going to the gym and working out, and actually yoga is softer, but it doesn't just work on your physical, it also works on your psychological, like your well-being,
Yeah.
It's deep. When you're doing this,
energetic.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
it doesn't
prana,
have to be yoga.
energy.
Qigong, what you're doing is amazing. Like, yeah. I really want to get into that. So that's something that, but again, for managing my pain, so I'd do yoga, then I'd try and do, I have like a green juice, or I'd take my pills, but I'd have like B12. I'd take loads of things that I needed to take, like vitamin C as well, and I'd take cannabis oil. Actually, cannabis oil was very good for me at that time.
Hey girl, I hit the cannabis oil on day one because I needed to just knock myself out.
Yeah, well, because what it does is it just makes your body cells a little bit happier. So yeah, basically you have a little bit more patience, so you don't get triggered so quickly.
Yeah,
because I mean, I had a 3-year-old and I was on my own, and I had this pain.
Yeah.
And it's just like my patience was like this. So
I'm sure
when I took the CBD oil, I was merrier in the morning. Even though I had the pain, I was able to breathe in. And I needed to have a hot shower first thing in the morning. You couldn't talk to me unless I had a shower first. So there was a whole process that I needed to go through until I was actually sane enough to be spoken to.
Yeah. Bless you.
No, but
no, I get it. I get it.
Managing your pain. And also one other thing, as you were saying, like for me, I was very in the home. That's why I woke up to all of these realities, because I was sat at home pretty much all the time. Because if I went out in the evening, I wouldn't go out in the morning. So if I went out in the rave in the evening, then I couldn't really go to more raves because it would just batter my body. So I had to kind of go home. So it's like you have to manage your time. So if you do something in the afternoon, you can't do something in the morning. You have to figure it out if you're in that pain, And it's like, I do feel that some people identify to their pain though. So that happens a lot with elder people.
Yeah.
Elder
And
people.
some people that have been given terminal illnesses as well, and own those terminal illnesses because the doctor has said you've got X amount of time to live, which no doctor should ever do.
No.
Yeah, you're not God. So no one should be, I mean, I'm not saying blow smoke up someone's backside if the shit's really hit the fan, give them the information. But, you know, I mean, this goes back to the whole, yes, I have a newfound respect for Western medicine, but I don't completely trust it because I think that, I think there's technology where we don't have to have operations and have bits of us removed. I think it's actually barbaric. And the more I'm learning about what dark forces have been playing at on this earth plane, the more I'm thinking all this, you know, you wanting to take my womb away because I've got endometriosis, that was now 8 years ago. I'm still here. I haven't died. And okay, yeah, I was in excruciating pain last week. That was my journey, my learning, my lesson. Yeah. However, that hasn't been me every day. Do you know what I mean? That just hasn't been me every day. You know, most days I am moving a lot. I'm always got things to do. I've always got new products to do, or you know, I'm, you know, going out for a shimmy or socializing with people, or I'm chilling, relaxing, going for a walk in the park, you know, very active. So I'm not sure how I would have been or how I would have felt if I'd have gone to the doctor. Yeah, okay, go on, whip my womb out. Why not? And I'm not sure that would have stopped the pain necessarily either. You know, so it could have created more problems. It could have triggered something else. So I'm not really all up for being hacked into. I remember feeling very, because I'm a Leo, right? So I remember feeling very growly after the operation. And I remember having to speak to my sister-in, who was a healer at the time, who I used to go to for healing, to put my chakras back into alignment because someone had been inside me pissing about. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, okay, so I was feeling very growly and very, you've just been in my territory and I really want to scratch someone's eyes out. Although in the same breath, when seeing the surgeon, I know how much pain I was in and I know something wasn't right. He was actually a very gentle man. And I automatically connected to him when he was at my bedside saying, "Hi, Debbie, I've met you, but you haven't met me." And I was like, "Hey, how are you?" You know, it was like that human connections, like, thank you very much, because actually at that point you did save my life because I was slowly being poisoned by the start of septicemia when the cyst had burst. So yeah, you're very right about us saying that we're not normal, because the main endometriosis center in UCLH have never heard of a cyst bursting ever. Ever. No. So yeah, I'll go 150 this way, right? And if we can go all out and set a standard of something new, like, oh, all right then. Thanks, universe. Use me as you will. But yeah, I think once you've kind of got the pain as your teacher and you start to start to own your part of how you got there, whether it's whatever is in your environment, whether it's food, start to get the emotional connection to it, start to get the insights. Once you've got that, you can then start healing. You can then start flowing. You can then start bringing space, as you was talking about, bringing space into that area, because that's something we focus on in Quantum Touch, is to bring that allowing space and expansion into the area for the healing to take place, for the miracles to happen.
It's like the system that we live in. It's like when you have pain, they will tell you that it's terminal, or they will tell you that that's it. You have this pain. That's it. It's like they want you to just sit on it and live with that pain so you don't evolve. But actually, the fact is that the pain is there for you. The pain is a gift to you so that you can become a better person, and you can evolve, and you can get through these shadows that are holding you back. And for this reason, during your pain, managing your pain as well, as I said before, it's all about boundaries. It's the same thing. It's knowing who to bring into your life, who not to bring into your life, because now you have very little energy. Because all the energy is for your pain. It's for managing your pain and managing you and taking care of you for the first time. Many times we actually take care of ourselves properly when we're in severe pain. So in that time, there's no time for anybody else. It's like having a baby. You know what I mean? It shifts you, it changes you, it transforms you into a better person. And one thing I want to say as well is, like, when the doctors say, oh, no, you know, you can't do this, you can't do that. A lot of people will do that anyway. It's like, oh, you know what? I'm not going to come to that dance session tonight, Amanda, because I'm feeling a bit, you know, or Amma, because I'm feeling a bit low, or I don't have a lot of energy. Let me tell you something. When I had this chronic pain, I was doing my dance workshops. I was studying. I was doing 2 years of dance, and I had chronic severe back pain. And sometimes in the sessions, I would lie down, or I would sit leaning on the wall because I wasn't able to do that exercise. But I was there. And you know what? I was moving. I was moving. I was disabled, but I was freaking moving. And nobody would stop me from doing that. And that is how I moved out of the pain.
You were moving forward. You were moving forward.
Don't say, oh no, sorry, I can't do that. I'm just going to stay and feel a bit fluid. But actually, when you go out and you change you change the energy, and it's all in your mind. You know, you feel so much better with yourself. Right? Totally. Sometimes you can't. I'm not saying always, but I'm just saying, if you look after yourself enough and you give yourself that exact time to go and do whatever you're going to do, if it's going to be productive, then do it, because it's going to be good for you. You know. Well, so that's important, I think.
Every cell in your body has a memory, and this is something that I learned from doing when I was doing kinesiology. When I was having kinesiology sessions with a practitioner, it was just mind-blowing, some of the stuff that I was shifting. Some of the stuff which I didn't actually initially have any memory of, because I pushed it so far back and it was so painful that I actually couldn't deal with it or cope with it. So I just put it in a little box somewhere. So by changing foods, there was foods that you could have and foods that you had to avoid. Certain supplements that you had for this particular month space, and particular affirmations that you had to say. And so basically you're changing the memory of the cell. You're allowing it to come up and out. Like you were saying earlier, it's like layers of an onion, and you just keep peeling. And when you first start, it sounds like it's going to go on forever. It's like, how many layers does this bloody onion have, man? Do you know what I mean? But you just keep going, and you just feel lighter, and you just feel like there's more light coming to your cells. They're not as restricted. They are more flowing. And actually, okay, I've just lost this relative or this friend, and yes, I'm grieving, but it's not to the point of despair. Yes, I'm in pain, but I understand that it's my teaching. It's not to the point of despair. Not all is lost. If someone passes, they're going back home. Celebrate it. Yeah, if you're in pain, your body is trying to teach you something. Have a relationship with your body. Your first port of call here on earth. Without this body, you're not in an earthbound state. And this is a very special place to be, where we have free will. We can use that will as we please. And we find it's just easier to use it for the good rather than the bad. Our free will's far easier to be used in a heartfelt space for good intentions for all.
And I think that's the whole key of it. Like, you can go to despair with pain, if you will, but again, despair is a negative emotion. And you can do that, but it's really not there for you to go to despair. It's for you to breathe in and acknowledge it and feel it and change your perception about how it feels. Because I got used to the pain, and it was a way for me to be able to live with it in some way, you know. Sometimes you have to just kind of not identify it as, just kind of allow the body to feel it in a different way. Like, it's funny. I don't know how to explain it, but
not owning the condition, almost.
And also remembering that this pain also may come from triggers, but it may come also from past lives. It's a pain that has happened in your family.
Exactly,
Yes. Cancer is not genetic. It comes from the core beliefs that your mother had, because your mother's mother gave her those beliefs and your mother gave them to you. And that's why you're suffering from that, or you have this lack of self-love within that area, because your mom carried that self-love within that area when she had you in her womb.
Yeah. That's ancestral, on an ancestral level.
Exactly. Because when I was born, when I had my daughter in my womb, she was born, she was a very shiny girl, but for some reason, you know, she didn't shine, you know. And I know that when I was doing my work, when I had my pain, we worked on Sophia as well. We worked on my daughter as well.
Yeah.
We were tapping on her as well. And I shifted her core beliefs. But before we shifted her core beliefs, you know, she didn't feel good enough. She felt that she wasn't taken care of, and I was taking care of her. She felt unsupported, but that was all coming from me.
Yeah.
Because when I had her in my womb, those beliefs were installed within her program.
Of course. Because her memories would have, her cells would have held that memory.
Yeah, so we carry so much from past lives. So again, the pain is happening so that it doesn't happen to your next generations. It's for you not to pass it on to your children. So it's your responsibility to assess it, to love it, and to understand and allow it to flow through you.
Totally
and come back to yourself and align yourself. And I think the key thing is to always just follow joy. What makes you happy?
Yeah.
Maybe it's for you to slow down and do something that makes you happy, even though you have that pain on you. But again, it's knowing that joy is the highest. That's the one we need to get to. And if there's pain there, it's just because something's out of line for you to get to that joy.
Yeah, indeed. Totally. I also made the connection with my pain as being to do with my nan. My nan has been coming through quite a bit. Where have you gone? You've gone.
Sorry, my dog was
She okay?
Yeah, she just wanted a wee. I'm listening though.
Okay, cool. I made the connection that this whole back pain before, that it's coming from my nan. My nan keeps coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is not, I can't just blame my nan. That's not how I'm looking at this.
It's lower back pain, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's also family, isn't it? So chakra, lower chakra, but root chakra is family.
Yeah.
As well, you can look at it like finances, you can look at it survival mode, but my insights to my pain is to do with my nan. And my nan, God bless her, was actually born in a workhouse back in Victoria, London. So that would not have been very nice at all. Yeah. So endometriosis is also feminine ego. Yeah. So what has been carried down from the genetics. So, and obviously my nan's passed now, so I can't have that conversation with her in the physical. So I have to work on it energetically to clear it, and trust the insights, trust the downloads of information that I'm getting from source, from my higher self. Trust that. Trust those feelings that are coming up. Yeah. And trust in the process that, okay, these things are coming up. I don't have to attach to them. I don't have to attach to them. I just need to see that they're there and feel my way through how to clear them.
Yeah. Yeah.
And trusting that the universe always has us. I trust that. The universe has always had me.
Yeah.
As it does you.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it doesn't matter what experience I've been through, I'm so thankful.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing we can finish on. How long have we been on, babe?
Yeah, we can round up now. We can round up now.
One thing very important for anybody who is feeling pain. Again, for me, my experience is that everything that has happened to me when it comes to like the chronic pain that I went through, I'm thankful to the universe for everything that it showed me, because now I can help others. And also I know what I want and what I don't want. And I understand why it happened to me. Yeah. I understand that I needed to love myself before trying to save the world, or before trying to make a change with everybody else, or caring for everyone else. Yeah. I needed to care for myself.
Yeah, totally.
I needed to do that, you know. Totally. And also just one thing that is really important that we can do. There's two, actually. One that I didn't mention before. If you are in pain, anyone who is in pain, what is really, the thing is, it's a very vicious spiral. Okay. So if you're getting up, you're feeling upset, and the pain is still there, and it's lingering, it's very difficult for you to be with love and light. It's like, no. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Because I've been there. But what you need to do is grab a piece of paper. What goes very well, what is very good, is you could just write 3 pages of whatever comes to your mind. You can swear on this paper. You can do whatever you want. It's just put it down on the paper. And therefore, once you've done that, you're leaving all your emotions that are flowing through you. Yeah, all the anger, you're leaving it on the paper. And then through your day, you start connecting with your higher self and with source a little bit more. Yeah, so you're a little bit less kind of carrying these thoughts around till midday, and then, like, you know, then you smoke the joint, and then that's it. It's all gone down again, and it's, you know what I mean? But if you leave the whatever you're feeling on the paper, you know, that can also guide you to stuff. Yeah. But I would say don't think too much about it. Just leave and drop whatever shit you've got in the morning on the paper, so that you can walk a bit lighter through the day, you know. That's
can I just touch base on that before you move on? Yeah. That's actually another tool. It's another task process in self-created health, which I mentioned earlier.
Really?
But, yeah, over a space of 3 days. Yeah. And that's the thing, that's the beauty of it. Self-created health, all the tools, I had access to all these tools, but it's the method of which it's put together, that the Quantum Touch founder, Richard Gordon's put this together. It is powerful, really powerful, because you utilize these tools to their full potential. But what's happened with the 3 days, it's over a course of 3 days we do this writing, and you get as dark as you need to. No one else reads it, and then you burn it. It's an old shamanic practice.
That's a nice idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I've got morning pages written on my computer from when I was suffering, and I read through them the other day, and I was like, wow, you know, like you look back and you think, okay, wow, you know, that's crazy. But I mean, you know, affirmations as well, guys, super important. If you can wake up in the morning, and if you don't know how to meditate because you get distracted with the fly, that's fine. But just do affirmations. Affirmations are very powerful, you know.
Totally.
You can find them on YouTube, or I mean, there's this woman called Louise Hay, and she had an affirmation for every single area of your body, depending on what pain you have.
Yeah.
There's a specific, if you want to go deeper, there's a specific.
You can heal your body, right? You can heal your body.
Yeah,
you can heal your life. Body.
Louise Hay, yeah. Also, there's a really powerful affirmation meditation from a guy called Wayne Dyer. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, good old Wayne. God bless him.
The I am meditation. I used to do that I am meditation in the morning as well, and it just put me into place and a little bit more gentle with myself. So that was really important. And the one really big one for me that helped me, Debs, through my life during those 10 years of pain was actually being thankful. And gratitude. I still do that today.
Gratitude is an attitude.
It's like, if you're not thankful for what you have, then you are living in lack.
Yeah.
It's just so important to state it out loud, to be
Yes.
thankful. And I used to write it down in a book before I'd go to bed. I'd be, this is me, right? I'd be in pain, fucking, you know, single mom on my own. I'd probably be in the worst position ever. But you know what? I was thankful for having a roof. I was thankful for being able to have food. I was thankful for the most smallest things because I was in pain. And that's what you do, right? You have to be thankful. Don't think it's the end of the world. Be thankful. And when you start being thankful in the morning and you do that daily, you'll start seeing that actually you're living in abundance. And, you know, it's not the end, you know, it's just the beginning of more growth for you. But being thankful is super important. And once you're thankful, you can then ask. You can start asking for things.
Yeah, totally.
And that's one thing I didn't do until way after. I didn't know I could ask.
Yeah, well,
like,
when you're told you're not a sovereign being, then you don't. And you know, if we're believing that we are lesser than we actually are, right, then there isn't much to be grateful for in that thought process of lack. There isn't abundance. Right, so yeah, you need to put your crown on straight, own your crown, know that you are a sovereign being, be grateful and have gratitude for everything you have. If you're eating, if you've got a roof over your head, if you've got access to, I say fresh water, but we know that they're putting poisons in the water. But okay, even that, the knowledge of what they're putting in the water and how to clean it, how to cleanse it, how to cleanse yourself, how to cleanse your environment in a divine way. Having access to knowledge, like what we've shared our knowledge, right? We're coming from different angles about pain, but there's many paths that the universe will bring us to the same place. We have many options and choices to go. That is an abundance.
But there's so many things we can do.
Yes.
You know, it's like closing the door to the doctor and just saying, you know what, I'm not even going to go there because what you're saying is that I'm not worthy and I live in lack and I need you to fix me.
Yes.
But actually it's 2022. So we kind of know this information now. It's our duty to apply this, and that's where we're going, because the old system it's dissolving. Okay, we're going to be healing. We're not even going to need technology soon, sister. This is like, you know, and all.
Well, I don't, babes. I just healed myself from excruciating pain, and there weren't a doctor in sight, love. So it's here now.
Exactly. And I know what to do when I'm in pain now. I know that I need to take it easy. I'll go, okay, because I think last summer I injured myself again. I hurt my back, but I knew exactly why.
Yeah.
Because I was going too fast. I was trying to do so many different things.
Yeah.
And it was just too much. And it was just a little sign to get me to slow down. And I got it. I was like, okay, I got it.
Fair enough. Yeah.
I'll have to slow down then. But that's it really, you know. So anyone with pain, we're sending you lots of love and just love your pain.
Yeah, love it all. And
become friends with your pain, you know.
Yeah, totally. And if any of you want to learn how to heal yourself, I'll soon be able to teach you, because I'm coming to the end now of my Quantum Touch Level 1 instructors course. So I recommend having that in your toolbox. I think everyone should have that in their toolbox, even if it's not quantum touch, if it's Reiki or whatever modality.
Yeah, or even emotional freedom technique. I do.
I used to do tapping. There's so many different tools there. So many different tools. So we have options, but it's about making the effort, and you've got to make the effort. You've got to want to put the work in to the most important person, which is you. You've got to look after A, otherwise B's not going to follow.
Yeah, and let me rephrase something. I said become friends with your pain. Like, don't become too friendly.
Yeah, there is also that. It's a balance. Everything is about balance.
I mean, like, you know, understand it, understand it, feel it, and then, you know, heal, and then understand that, you know, how figure out how to heal it.
Yeah, don't wear the pain as your crown that you're parading around.
Exactly, that's what
I am in pain, everyone must feel sorry for me, and let's do the emotional blackmail nonsense. Let's just not do that, because you're going back to lack again.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not the place of a sovereign being.
No, it's not.
So,
and 5D is where we want to be, baby.
Baby! Woo, 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 woo!
So yeah, just to remind everybody, you can find us at Bella Emotion on Telegram. Yeah. If you want to kind of communicate with us, we put all our stuff on there. We put loads of intel on there. We, anything that's interesting about the light and the darkness on there. So if you want to share community with us, that's where we are. Right, Deb?
Indeed, indeed. So this video, like, share it, subscribe, and get the word out there, guys, because I think we're talking some important stuff that is going to empower you in the space that Earth is moving to, that humanity is moving to. So yeah,
that's exactly it. It's about love, living with love, but understanding pain, and just having a balance. Lots of love, Deb.
Lots of love, my darling. You take care of yourself. Good to catch up finally.
Yeah, I know. I don't know when our next one's going to be. We've got so many things going on, haven't we?
I know, but yeah, we'll work something out. We'll see you all soon.
Your course and I launched my online dance. We're going to be even more on fire, but we'll have time for stuff, I'm sure. Take care, my darling.
You take care, babe.
Bye.